Hey guys, what's up? It's Taylor and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, it feels so weird to be sitting here right now because I have not filmed a video in a couple of weeks. As you guys can probably already tell by my YouTube channel, I have been taking a break and I think it's been about 2 weeks since I have posted a YouTube video. And if you guys watched my live stream that I did at the beginning of September, then you guys would know why I took a break from YouTube. It's just been like stressing me out lately. And I also posted an Instagram story about it as well, and also life has just been like really stressful lately and I just have not had any time to film a video. But I am finally back today filming a video for you guys, and this is not the video that I wanted to come back to YouTube with. And as you guys can probably already tell by the title, today I'm going to be doing a story time video, and I hardly ever do these on my channel, but this is the story of my first car wreck. And today is September 22nd whenever I am filming this, and my car wreck actually happened on September 19th. So it literally just happened a couple of days ago and I am still in shock that it happened, and I just want you guys to know I am okay. And I was gonna post an Instagram story about what happened, but I thought that I would make this video and I didn't want to worry you guys. And I just felt like I should tell you guys because you guys are my best friends and I love you guys so much, so that's why I wanted to do this video. And I was actually gonna film this video the other day, the same day that this happened, and the reason why I didn't is just because I was so like in shock that this happened, and I was just like really shooken up that day, and I literally cried so much. Like that day was just so emotional for me, and I'm gonna like talk about it and I might end up crying in this video, but let's hope that I don't cry because I already did enough of that the other day. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with the story time because I already know that this video is gonna be so long because it's just like a very detailed story. Okay, so this all started Wednesday, September 18th, 2019, so just a couple of days ago. And you guys are probably thinking,
you got in a wreck on the 19th, how did this start on the 18th?
I just feel like it makes more sense to start with what happened on Wednesday, and you guys will see why later in the story. Okay, so if you know me personally, then you know that I don't really like driving that much. I mean, I like driving on like side roads, and I don't really mind like driving around in my area, like in my city, but I don't necessarily like driving on the interstate. I avoid it at all costs just because I feel like it's very dangerous and you're going like 70 miles an hour. So on Thursday, I was getting my car inspected. So on Wednesday night, we had to go to the place that I was getting it inspected at, and we wanted to drop off my car so I didn't have to get up like super early on Thursday morning. And the place where I get my car inspected is like 15 to 20 minutes away from my house, and you do have to go on the interstate to get there. And I really did not want to drive the interstate because, like I said, I do not like driving on the interstate. I just like to avoid it at all costs. So I asked my brother if he would drive my mom's car down there, and then me and my mom drive my car. Well, actually my mom drive my car because obviously, like I said, I don't like to drive on the interstate. So I just rode in my car with my mom, and my brother said yes, and I told my brother if he did that for me, then I would buy him Chick-fil-A. So of course my brother said yes, so he drove my mom's car down there that night on Wednesday night, and then my mom drove my car and I just rode with her. So we all made it down there, everything's fine, and then we all ride back in my mom's car, and then I get Chick-fil-A, and then everything is fine. So Thursday morning rolls around, we get up around 8 o'clock, we take our showers, we get ready, and I think we left the house by like 9:30 or 10. I think it was closer to 10. And I had some errands that I had to run. I actually had to do a drug test for work the other day because I'm getting moved up at my work to become a shift manager. So I had to go do the drug test, and I actually couldn't pee. I know that might be TMI, so I actually have to go back and do that next week. And I was actually at the place getting my drug test done for over an hour because I was waiting it out trying to like see if I could go and pee. I know this is TMI and it makes no sense to my story of how I got in a wreck, but just trust me, all these details matter. I realized that what I said didn't really even make that much sense. So basically what I was trying to say is that all the events that happened on this day before my car wreck, I just feel like they're really important because I just had like a super bad day that day. So the second time whenever I go back to pee, and obviously like I said, I couldn't pee, so the lady tells me that I could come back later because you have to do it in like a 3-hour like time span or else it doesn't count, and you have to come back another day and do it, which is obviously just a hassle. So I told the lady that I was going to come back later that day. I was going to go pick up my car, and then we were going to go back to do my drug test. And then I was walking out of the drug test place, and I was getting in my car, and then the lady actually comes out whenever we were leaving. We were literally literally pulling out of the parking lot and leaving, and the lady comes out and said that I have to actually come out another day and I have to have a new form. And she said the reason why I had to come back another day and I couldn't do it the same day is because I'm female, and that literally did not make any sense to me. Like, why do I have to come back another day just to do my drug test all over again and waste more gas in my car just because I'm female? Like, that does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Like, why does gender matter? But anyways, that made my day worse because first I could not pass my drug test, and then she tells me that I couldn't even go back and do it that same day. I have to have like a whole new form and like fill that out and everything, and then come back a whole different day. And then after we left the drug testing place, we went on our way to pick up my car, and I was actually going to drive the interstate home because my dad was at work, my brother was at work, and my grandma doesn't drive anymore, so nobody could really drive my car back. So I was the only one that was able to drive my car back, so I had to put on my big girl panties. I know I am 23 years old and I should not be afraid of driving on the interstate, but I am. So when we got there to pick up my car, or actually let me backtrack a little bit, a couple of weeks ago, whenever I called to like make an appointment to get my inspection done, we told them on the phone that I needed a new headlight because my headlight is foggy and it wouldn't pass the inspection. So they ordered the headlight for my car, and obviously that's gonna take a while to come in because car parts always take a while to come in. So it came in, and that's why I was getting the inspection done, because I had to get it done before September's over. But whenever I went to go pay, guess what they told me? They said that they ordered the wrong part for the headlight, and that literally just made my day worse because you're literally a car mechanic. Like, how do you order the wrong part? And they even had the VIN number because we had to go up there like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and they literally just needed the VIN number for the inside of my car so they could order the right part, and then they still ordered the wrong part. Like, how does that even happen? But anyways, that just made my day even worse because I was like, now I'm just gonna have to go back next week, and then I'm gonna have to drive on the interstate again. And that's all because they ordered the wrong part. But they finally ordered the new one, and I'm gonna have to go back in a couple of weeks now. I was gonna have to go back next week, but now it's gonna be in a couple of weeks, and you guys will know why in a minute. So after they told me that they ordered the wrong part for my headlight, I'm like, okay, just let me know whenever the part comes in and I'll come back so you guys can fix it. And by the way, they did pass my inspection just because they ordered the wrong part, and that was on them, not me. So then I pay the guy, and me and my mom go to leave. She gets in her car, I get in my car, and then I follow her home. And obviously, like I said, we are going the interstate, and there is another way that you can go that's like not in the interstate, and it takes you through downtown instead. So we go to get on the interstate. I stay behind my mom the whole time. I'm following her, everything's good. So 10-15 minutes later, we finally get off the interstate, and we are like 5 minutes away from home. So after we get off the interstate, there's this like really long road that lasts like 5 minutes. So we go on that road, everything's peachy, and then we turn on this road called Rosemar Road. And this road is known in my town to be dangerous, and it's known for deer to come out of nowhere. So we turned on this road after we were on that really long road for like 5 minutes, and we were on Rosemar Road for a couple of minutes, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a deer comes at me, and it just right in front of my car, and I honestly did not even see it. It was literally the scariest thing in my entire life, and it was a 6-point buck, and it had like a really huge chest, and I literally didn't even have any time to swerve, which I wouldn't have done anyways, because whenever a deer is in front of you, you are not supposed to swerve. I've heard that that just makes it worse, so you're just actually supposed to hit the deer. But it was literally just the scariest thing ever because it was a huge 6-point buck, like I said, and it had like a huge chest, and it literally just looked like a reindeer, and it had like huge antlers. I was not expecting that to happen at all. Like, it was literally the scariest thing that I have ever gone through in my entire life. So I hit the deer, and I just felt like it magically appeared in front of my car out of nowhere because I was looking at the road the whole entire time, and then all of a sudden out pops a deer, and like I said, it was the scariest thing that I have ever dealt with in my entire life, and I am still a little bit shook up about it. Like I said, I was just not expecting it to happen at all. Like, it was just so scary. So after I hit the deer, actually I'm gonna say the deer hit me, because it literally just appeared in front of my car. It just came out of a ditch and just went in the road, and I don't even know why a deer would do that, because there's a lot of traffic on this road. So after the deer hit me, I was just in a state of shock, and I was not crying yet, but I did cry, and that comes later in the story. But after the deer hit me, I decided to pull over, so I did, and I'm really glad that there was actually a place to pull over. It was like a little gravel road. So after I pulled over, the very first thing that I did was call my mom, because she was in front of me, and like I said, I was following her home. So I called my mom, and I was freaking out, and I was like, Mom, I just hit a deer. And she was like, okay, I will turn around. She's like, are you okay? She was like freaking out too. And my mom said on the phone that she didn't even see the deer, because she was looking in her rearview mirror at me to make sure I was like still behind her. And then she looked back at the road, and that must have been like when the deer like came out of the ditch and I hit it. So I stayed on the phone with my mom for like 2 or 3 minutes, and we were both freaking out, and she ended up turning her car back around, and she came back and she parked her car like in that little gravel road. And when my mom was turning around to come back for me, a man actually pulled up behind me to ask me if I was okay. And this might sound very confusing, but there was a guy behind me, and then the guy behind him is the one that pulled up right behind me to ask if I was okay. And it was an older man, and he was a really nice guy, and the first thing that he said was, whenever he walked up to my car, is, are you okay? And I told him, yes, I'm okay, and that I was following my mom home, and she actually turned around, and I told him that I just called her and she was coming back for me. And then he said okay, and then he started talking about the deer, and he said that it came out of nowhere too. And then the guy that was directly behind me, he was in a black truck. I can't remember which kind of truck it was, but obviously that doesn't matter. And after I hit the deer, the guy that was behind me in the black truck, he kept on driving, and then he had to turn around as well. Then whenever he came back, he asked if I was okay as well, and he talked to the old man, and then they were talking about the deer. So basically 2 guys came back to ask me if I was okay, and I was like, there are still good people in this world. Like, that made me feel a lot better that 2 people asked me if I was okay. Like, I was not expecting anybody to do that. And the younger guy that was behind me in the black truck, he actually said that the deer made a little bit of damage to his car. I don't think it was like much, but my car on the other hand had so much damage, and I actually wrote down on my phone all the damage just so I could tell you guys. So I got damage to my front headlight, and no, it's not the one that's foggy and the one that needs a new part, it's the other one. So now both of my headlights are bad. And then also there is a lot of damage to the hood, and then also above the tire, and that was like where the damage was really bad, was above the tire. And also my Toyota emblem came off the front of my car, so it doesn't even look like it's a Toyota car anymore. So yeah, that's a lot of damage to my car. And if you guys do not know, my car's name is Henry. But anyways, those 2 guys that stopped behind me to ask me if I was okay, they actually were talking, and they went to go find the deer, and then they asked me if I wanted to see it, and I said no, obviously. Like, why would I want to see the deer that I killed? I knew that it had died just because it was like a really hard hit, like I could just tell. So yeah, they found the deer. It was like a little ways back in a ditch, and there was like blood everywhere, they said, and that's why I did not want to see it. But yeah, after the 2 guys left and drove off, me and my mom called the insurance company, or actually my mom did, just because I was too shaken up to do it. Right when I got in my mom's car, that's when I instantly started crying, and I was even crying the whole time that she was on the phone. And I'm just really hoping that they are able to fix my car and they don't have to total it out. And I've always heard that if you get in a car wreck and the damage costs more than what the actual car is worth, then they total it out. And I honestly don't think that the damage to my car costs more than what my car is actually worth, so I don't think that they're going to total it out. I think they are going to repair my car and then give it back to me. At least that's what I am hoping, because the damage definitely could have been a lot worse. Like, I could have gotten seriously hurt and my airbags could have went off, but I'm so glad that they didn't, and I'm so glad that it happened how it did, because if I would have swerved, then I definitely would have landed in the ditch and my car probably would have flipped over. So I'm actually really thankful that it happened how it did, and I thank God every single day that I am okay. And I forgot to tell you guys, whenever my mom was on the phone with the insurance company, they called a towing company to come out and tow my car away, and it was like a very sad moment because I love Henry so much. I actually miss him a lot, and I'm currently driving my grandma's car because I currently don't have a car. And my mom made me go to my grandma's house that day and get her car and drive it home, and I did not want to drive that day because I was so freaking scared. But my mom said if I did not drive that day that I would probably not want to drive ever again, and she probably would have been right because I really did not want to drive that day because I was just so shooken up and I was just so scared, but I had to do it anyways. And I'm really glad that I did because I am getting back to normal now with driving. Yes, it still scares me, and it's funny because Friday morning whenever I was leaving my house to go to work, I actually saw 2 deer on the way to work, and I just went super slow because I did not want to hit another deer, especially with my grandma's car. But yeah, I'm just super thankful. If this had to happen, I'm glad it happened the way that it did because like I said, it could have been a lot worse and I could have been seriously hurt. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I could have died. Like, it could have been way worse. Like, the deer could have went through my windshield and just like landed on top of me and I could have died, or I could have went in the ditch and my car would have like flipped over and my airbags could have went off. And just because I didn't get hurt and it wasn't that bad, I didn't have to call the police, which I was also super thankful for. But yeah, that was my first wreck story time, and I'm just really glad that no other cars were involved, and I really hope that I don't get in another wreck either because like I said, that was just the scariest thing ever. But yeah, if you guys are new to my channel, then you guys should definitely subscribe to become part of the TayBaes family. And yeah, I think that's all that I have to say. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
Even if the sun goes down on you, you gotta keep that shine on top, yeah.